oh, I can do this, and I can say, pause. Okay, let's put what is on my mind tonight. Actually, yesterday um, I did think about the fuel consumption. I'm pretty pissed because I cannot comprehend when they're saying that they're so concerned about environment. They want to have that the car has a really good gas mileage and so on, that we make the less pollution in the world. And as stupid as I am, I'm just curious. That's kind of new to me. I always thought that we have engineers who do that stuff to the perfect for everybody, and then this is what it is. I sort of doubt about it because my experience was basically that I always like diesels and diesel engines, and I was kind of like in a favor of European diesel because they were always ahead of the Americans anyway. When even when I came to Canada, but then I did, mm, but then I did, have American cars, and mostly they were gasoline. I had a van Dodge, and I had Savannas, and basically I was always unhappy because the gas mileage was not even close to what I had 20 years ago in Europe, and I was thinking that here is going to be better because definitely more developed world. Um, and then because I couldn't just figure out, and I was like unhappy with the consumption of the fuel with those GM and Dodge vans. And then when I was always looking for the Mercedes diesel when it came over here, this was in the 2004, and I had this one for a long time, picture in the garage, and I kind of like this because like I thought I owned a Mercedes in Europe before, long time back, but I really like it. And then I was so eager to get that Mercedes because I was expecting the good gas mileage, and I like the diesel engine because it has a lot of torque, and it's really well, and it's has really good use per miles or whatever we say in Europe, liter per 100 kilometers. Here it's how many miles per gallon. Uh, it's confusing, when you trying to make calculation. But okay, I got a little bit used to, but I still have a hinge. And and then I got this five-cylinder 2.7-liter Mercedes that was first sold here under the Freightliner and then under the Dodge because that's politic. I'm not gonna go there, but it's basically Mercedes. Um, and I got 28 miles per gallon, and I had also the Savannah at the time uh, van, and there it was like around maybe 16 because it was newer. The older Dodge I had, it's like a horrible gas mileage. Uh, but it was old one anyway. Uh, and then basically when I was making like 28 miles per gallon, I was telling to the other contractors and people, everybody was, oh shit, because I was like more 10 to 11 miles more per gallon. I love the van. It was pretty strong, very high torque. You drove like it was flying up the hills like as there's no hill. This is like what a diesel is engine. For the most of you probably know, but the diesel engine it's very good because that's why the trucks you because there's a lot of torque. He sustained the weight. He doesn't go ups. I'm too tired. Like and you drop it. Gasoline engines are like this. They lift it up a lot and then they start losing the strength and they go down. Diesel is basically lifting up and then it's holding like this Schwarzenegger, big guy. It just like very, simplistically explain what a torque does in the car, and it was like really nice. Then basically after almost 10 years or 11 years I own it, um, up suddenly I have to go to the dealer to recall and stuff like this. I couldn't do the smoke anymore. They have to adjust it. They make it that Mercedes run from the from 28 miles per gallon down to the 21. Lovely. The car lost the power right away when I was driving. Um, when I was driving up the hill, it was like basically it's just like it's almost like it was running like a gasoline engine, totally different characteristics, no power, and very high. And then what it started happening, it was that the check engine lights coming up. I don't know, maybe a week after I got it from the dealer, passed the smoke check, and then paying more for the fuel and less power. But what can I do? Uh, Check engine light coming up, and I'm calling the dealer, and he said, "Yeah, it's coming. You have to bring it in, and then bring it in. After all the hassle to make appointment, and it's a far away, and it's like all bull freaking shit." Uh, and then basically I did took it there, and they did something, and I took it back. Oh, the check engine light came up back, and then I'm calling back again, and I'm complaining, and I'm pissed at what's going on, and so on. And then somehow, somebody there, manager or somebody, told me, well, I don't know what we can do. All the cars are doing this, and blah blah. It's just like a old exhaust, and you have to do this. What do I have to do now? But somehow. I sold this one, and then I bought a new Mercedes. That's a new one, nicer, kind of like expensive freaking car. I When I went on a test drive, I didn't like it. Somehow didn't have the power, but I thought so maybe just I don't know. Maybe it's not in yet, or I didn't even think any much deeper. It just kind of like didn't feel it so right. But I like it because interior are new, and it's a Mercedes, and it's a good gas mileage. It's a six-cylinder diesel engine, 3 liters. Well, big deal. 2.7 inline V6. 300 cubic centimeters more, big deal. Uh, okay, gas mileage. I'm start driving, and I'm start comparing, and I was so stupid. I so trusted in this European German engineering. I don't know, whatever. And if the other one was 28, I thought so here 30 at least. If I drive nice, maybe 32 miles per gallon. Because I know that in Europe there's the same van that it's mine here, making easy loaded 35 miles per gallon. But here now I'm start suddenly seeing that it's only 18 miles per gallon. And then check again. Maybe I'm confused or whatever. And then again, it's showing up like it's this. And I'm running basically empty van. I'm not going on a long runs a lot, but I drove a couple of times to Vegas, and the longer runs, not much better. I drive very nice in the city too, like that. Basically, I would say I get pretty good compared to both. Not for everybody, but my style of driving, it's kind of like this. And now I'm like suddenly have like a 12 years newer engineering and technology. Better. We are probably becoming smarter every day, because otherwise we would still be in the mid ages. No, maybe not for everybody, but those who make the most controls, and they're most influential. This is the top people. They really do improve. How could I have now worse gas mileage than I had it 11 years ago? It's coming out of the German engineering. I don't know. Fuck, something doesn't make sense. And then, because it doesn't make sense, fine. I'm digging in. That's my nature. And then I'm thinking more and more and more and more. And, okay, somehow the things did not make sense. And I'm trying to figure out, and maybe somebody can help me. I don't know even if I'm gonna post this. I don't know. It's really funny, but I have this on my chest, and it's going. Even today, I was looking something and reading and researching, and it's quite a lot to talk about this on my own for my own desire. Uh, I would explain this to somebody, like back in my home when we were in the bars, the restaurant, we were having discussions and stuff like this. Somebody has on his chest, he was elaborating, and then everybody participating, and different opinions and so on. But it was fun. This is how you learn. Some people are more curious, some less. It doesn't matter. Have fun with whatever you do. And basically now I did, and then the things were start just popping up on me because now why the check engine lights come up after they changed something that I was burning more fuel than I did before. That was the one thing. And why would somebody want to do something like this? That's another big question that you try to answer. I'm doing on this too. And then I see that basically this gas mileage is so inconsistent with the logic. They're trying to say that if you burn more fuel per miles, it's better for the environment. This was to me blowing up. I talked to my friend who I thought so that he's a pretty mechanical guy and pretty successful, pretty smart, and his answer were like, I lost a lot of respect for him because my proposition to him to elaborate on was like, if you have a 1 liter of gasoline or diesel, and that 1 liter you make, I'm gonna just blow it up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense because I don't concentrate on this. But let's say you drive 50 kilometers with 1 liter. Fine. This is what it is. Now you have to this 1 liter of gasoline you have to mix with the oxygen, and then you produce waste, which is I think so monoxide. And this is basically what we are fighting, and we pollute a lot. And then plus we have some heavy materials in I do not know, a lot. A lot of things are reasonable, some are probably just propaganda or exaggerated. But I'm not going to go on this. But no matter what, if you burn 1 liter, you get to certain miles. But American ideology or whatever they want to tell us here, how did I hurt on this side of the world? I don't know who idea was. Maybe it was not American, but this is what I heard from this country. That if you burn 2 liters on the same amount of travel or move, it's better for environment. And then I was like, how could be? Because if you burn something, every engine, and this is what I was today looking over here, because it was so pissed that I really went into a little bit deeper. I didn't know what is it called, because I know from Europe, but we had a different name. When it's a perfect combination of the carbon, whatever they call here, carbon, sulfur, whatever, fuel, propane, gasoline, diesel, name it. Whatever it is, it's a chemical reaction always with the air. Oh, now I have to say CO2, maybe. I don't want to go this because I'm going to screw it up. Let's put simplistic. Air, fuel. You put this together, and it has to be the perfect combination of the amount of the fuel, of his characteristic of that fuel, and the amount of the air, because somehow in the chemistry, those molecules, they have to find the pair. Like everybody want to get married, and bingo, everything is perfect. This is what is produced then the explosion. Everybody has got married. If you have too many Okay, let's put it. Okay, let's make it this: female, male, doesn't matter. Everybody has a pair. Everybody want to get married. Boom, together. Everybody is connected. Nobody's looking. Oh, where I'm gonna go. When you have too many ladies, it's some gonna be left. Oh shoot, we don't have it. Or you're gonna have too many men. It's gonna be some excessive. The more excessive material you're gonna have, the bigger problems can be, because everybody's going to bitch and start protesting, and then we can have a riot. Basically, it's a negative effect. The same it is in a combustion, air and fuel. It is desired that everything get married, and we have no problems, basically, which means we have no negative effect on the environment. Now, being so perfect, probably really hard, because it's so many other parameters in that it's really perfect, really hard. But to be the most close to the perfect, that's possible, especially with the today electronics. And therefore, that means that every car who's designed and tested, it has the perfect, it's designed for the perfect combustion, which is happen in a cylinder. It means the volume of the cylinder plus the air that it's coming in, and the amount, and then when it's compressed, and then amount of the fuel that's going to be exactly mathematically, chemically, I don't know, however they do, because they are smart people. They make it together. It's enough exact amount of the fuel sparked in or mixed in to make perfect explosion. And when it's a perfect explosion, perfect, everything burn or somehow combine, and there's no side effects, because it's no too many jealous men or pissed off women on the other side, because we had perfect blocks. Perfect. 100 here, 100 here, toop, everybody, nobody can say nothing. Everybody has his pair or opposite side. Who that sounds really damn good. We are married with the opposite side of us. Fuck it. That's why nothing works. See, that's good. Anyway, back to the cars. Okay, that means that every car is designed to the perfect combustion, because this is desirable. Because of the perfect combustion, you get, for the fuel that you put in, you get the best output, because if it explodes perfectly, the strongest. Nobody can dispute this. Now, suddenly, things are not so dandy. Somehow, theory here it is that it's better for the environment that this explosion is not so perfect, and this is then better for the environment. That means that we put less air and more fuel in this little cylinder where the explosion is going to happen. What's happened, 30% of the people don't get married because one side is too many, and the 30% is pissed and make the negative effect, which is too much carbon out, or shit, I forgot, whatever, bad stuff out of the exhaust. The chemist, and it's not good for us. But now we want to clean this, because we still want to say that it's not. And how do we do this? This is why we invent the catalyzers. I just stole to my son from the Nissan small little minivan. It cost $7,000 to replace here in California. Just for some of those who don't know, $7,000. But if you would be this catalysator, whatever you call catalysator, I don't know how's the English sound. I never learned. In Nevada, Arizona, or anywhere else, probably would be around $300. I was looking on there because the insurance was prolonged. I thought, okay, we have $500 deductible. Maybe I just get it, put it up on a lift, and fucking put it in, And then I figure out that no, then you cannot pass the smoke check, because California has something more special that it costs $7,000 instead of the $300 or $380, something like this. Uh, well, I don't know. But those catalyzers, they have in some special material a little bit. I don't even know why somebody would steal the exhaust. Fucking, we were throwing them away all our lives. You know, you want to steal it? I don't know. Yeah, because there's some special materials in. But okay, everything this is some kind of a bullshit because it just does not make sense. And then basically you see that this is the lie because when you have engine that is producing almost no bad stuff because it's the perfect engine, the best power, and no exhaust, no too much fuel, no too much air, perfect to the a little bit, perfect, perfect. It cannot be always because then it's RPM and this and so on. But today a computer's pretty good. No shit, good, really good. And now we don't. We have now the problem that we change the engines, even those that were running for 11 years with 28 miles per gallon. Now suddenly the government decided we have to change it, and it started burning more fuel. Burning more fuel, it's making really dirty exhaust because it's an excess, and now it clogs down those sensors inside the exhaust or whoever were telling, "Woo, something's wrong with the engine. It doesn't do perfect job. Engine check light." They want to have the engine check out, but they couldn't figure out how the fuck they're going to turn the engine check out. They fucked up the engine. It's running off the limit. That's not good. Well, it's not going to kill. It's not going to destroy the engine, but it doesn't have the performance. I don't know. Do you get it? I don't know. Am only I so smart, or I'm so stupid that I see things like this? Make no sense. Fuck it. Now, another guarantee to this is like this, what I'm saying. My son had a. Okay. My son he worked and he bought a Jetta TDI station wagon and 2-liter diesel. We bought it 44 miles per gallon. Not as good as in Europe, the same car, but pretty good. Well, came a couple of years somewhere around when my Mercedes came up, the government became smarter up there in Northern California, where it's a good drinking water. And I apologize drinking beer. And I'm sick. I have a bad voice. I got some flu. Government decided basically the smoke checking cannot be done on a Jetta before it has to go to the Volkswagen dealer. They have to fix something. The car came out with the 33 miles per gallon and lost a lot of power. I was pissed. I swear probably for 2 weeks around bitching. Nobody listened anyway, but I have to vent it myself. And I did couldn't do nothing. Okay. The light come up and the service said that basically now it has to be put on a new, I think so that he said catalysator or something like this, and something else, and I think so that he said around $7,000. That was way before. Anyway, I remember down at the dealership, I said like, what? That's so pissed. I was, telling this kid he doesn't know what the hell he's talking. I want to talk to the manager, and so on. I said, are you fucking kidding me? This car, it's worth probably $4,000, and you want to have like in this like engine has like 140,000 miles, and now you want me to buy the new exhaust for $7,000? Are you out of your mind? Like like I don't know even what the fuck are you smoking, people? And I was joking a little bit. I always do, but I'm pissed, basically, seriously, behind my jokes. But I want to turn a little bit easy on the people. I don't know other way, kind of wake up, like, fuck, I'm not ashamed of yourself. What are you trying to sell to somebody? Okay, maybe somebody else, but it's not fair. Even this is not humane. If some woman is there, you're selling her the bullshit. No, she doesn't know she's gonna buy it from you right away. But you telling me bullshit, the fuck, like if you would be here, I would fucking punch you in the nose because you think I'm so you disrespect me so much. You think I'm so stupid. I'm gonna buy shit like this. And anyway, and then the guy said, you know what, like put some. I don't want to put the guy in trouble, but he was nice to me because I was talking to him. They don't, I got him. He said, put some additive in the fuel additive, and just drive the car in not more than 40 or 50 miles an hour in like third gear. Basically go over 2,000 3,000 rpm and drive for 40 minutes or 30 minutes, something like this, he said. And then he said it's going to burn out of the fuel, out of the exhaust, and it's going to clean up, and then it's going to be okay. So what can I do? Put $7,000. I did what he said, and it worked. And it makes sense that it's going to work. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. It did make sense, yeah. Because I was suspicious about what he did to the car. The car is smoking like a fucking old school bus in America. I don't know fucking how those buses can be out of the school, out of the street. They smoke like a fucking factory chimneys, like really bad. But you don't get it out because everything is clogging inside this fancy. What did they stole to my son? Catalysator. Materim. Yeah, anyway. You see, this is the politic because now why they do this? It's illogical, it's idiotic, it's inhumane, it's big lying. But now maybe they don't want German cars be popular because they don't like Germany. Okay, that could be one possibility. Maybe they want to keep status and force everybody to burn more fuel what is necessary because then somebody who own the oil want to make money. And how do you make money if you have something and the people not buying? You're fucking poor. I have my mine. I think so they're pretty good, but nobody want to buy and pay me anything for my mine. I'm fucking poor. But if you can make a demand for, and that you people need to buy from you 2 liters, but if you can somehow trick them, they're going to have to buy 4 liters. Fuck, then you have an abundance. That's good for you. Basically, I would guess so that the oil companies, they must have some fingers into this. They lie that the cars burn more. Because that's obvious now. And their explanation, it's like, fuck, that's a bullshit, More fuel, less pollution, cows farting. That's a big bullshit. You have to be really sick in your brain to buy stuff like this. Anyway, then I will start thinking, just like a very simplistic, logical thinking and analyze. I did went today. I read about this, like a perfect combustion and stuff like this. The studies there, the charts, they exactly show at the best, which is a perfect consumption, you have no side effects and the most energy. Excessive air or not enough air making it stay. There are charts there for everything, for the CO2, I don't know, everything. Don't ask me. It's on YouTube. If somebody called me, I'm going to go and struggle to do it, but I'm not going to put it out there. I don't even know how to do it. Anyway, but it's there. Yes. And I know this because I was working in a mine and I was responsible for the safety of the air combustion because we had a methane in a mine. And it was like, those things were my Bible. And I know uh, basically what is mean perfect combustion and stuff like this. Like what could happen. This was always our goal to protect. We didn't mind if we have too much methane or we have too much oxygen. It was just the problem was because we couldn't get rid of the methane. It was present everywhere. But the amount of the methane compared to the oxygen around, this was the problem. And I can go in this and tell you the whole science, which I didn't invent it, but I know. And it makes sense. And this is how it was, that we survived. And it was not a lot of accidents, which they are happening around the world. Yeah, and then basically this is clearly showed that it's not. But then I was like a few days back, then I'm gonna ramp this up. Uh, I was driving on the highway and I'm looking at those big rigs that I was driving before. And I know what the consumption it is now. Today you have mostly, which was really funny. I didn't even go to calculate down. I'm going to do it. Maybe I'm going to mention next time. But it's comparison with the weight. But anyway, just the okay. The one point before this, I was watching some YouTube videos. Somehow came up to me in 1940 in England. Some kind of the cars they had the simple cars. Blah blah blah. Imagine very primitive technology, carburetor, gasoline engine. Not really big, but all those cars they were able to travel at least 80 miles per, not 80 miles, sorry, 60 miles per hour. In that time, they did a complete, was the commentary about the testing of that car, the consumption. You know what? I think so. He said 4.8 liters. No, hold on. 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers, yes. That is over 15 miles per gallon, something like this. And then another one was a Citroën CV2, which was also made before Second World War, and then later, but still even after, they had about 3 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually more than 60 miles per gallon. Somewhere there, I didn't check exactly. And I was thinking, oh fuck. I know they were like lighter cars, more simplistic, smaller engines, but they were transporting shit. And they had that many miles per gallon. And today, 80 years. Do you know how much technology improved? I know in my lifetime I was fixing the cars that we have the carburetors, spark plugs, not spark plugs, no computers, basically just the rotary spinner, the cables to each spark plug. I don't know what they call this in English. Very simplistic, which was a lot of moments in between. Today you have electronics, you have electronic injection for the gasoline cars, for the diesel cars. Time, it's like amazing how perfect you're mixing. You have turbochargers, you have intercoolers, you have all this shit to get better, smaller cylinder, get more air, and just got the right amount of the fuel. It's a perfect combustion because then you have the most power, even if you don't care for the environment. But you cannot fucked up environment, because if you want to get the most power, and that's your goal, but when you get the most power, you have almost no side effects. But now, with all this, we have an almost worse gas mileage than then. And we have a little bit heavier car. Fuck, something just does not make sense. Somebody's selling somebody fucking bullshit. Okay. And then I'm like basically looking, I'm thinking about the trucks, okay. And I'm thinking about my car. The average engine in a truck, the big truck who's carrying 80,000 pounds, the most common, you have many different stuff. But this is the most and the majority, probably 85% uh, of the trucks are like this. Between 11 to 12 liters, I'm going to go in the liters, of the engine, the volume of the engine. Now, my car has the 3 liters, and we know here 5 liters and whatever, 5.8, I think, so something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a 12 liters. And the fuel consumption, it's today, in average, around 7 miles per gallon. Actually, when I was driving, it was around there too. 7 miles per gallon for 12 liters. Now, my car has 3 liters. I mean, 3 plus 3 is 6. I mean, 4 engines of 3,000 cubic centimeters or 3 liters would be needed for one truck engine. That would be comparable working combustion energy compartment, whatever you would call it, cylinder, whatever, but it's just like basically this. 4 times. That means that my car should burn some different number than 16, 17 miles per gallon. If 7 miles per gallon can run 12-liter engine, then basically the 3-liter engine was supposed to run on a quarter less or 3/4 longer distance on a 1 gallon. Is that correct? That means that my car was supposed to run on a 7 plus another 7, 14, plus another 2, which would be 14, it would be 1428 miles per gallon. I hope so I didn't screw, but if I did, follow my thinking, maybe I said the wrong number, but basically it is. If 12 liters can run on a 7 gallons, 7 miles per gallon, then basically if you have 3 times more this, basically you should add on. That means, okay, but that's not all, because now you go and distribute what one van full of people would be. I do not know, or any other car. I'm guessing not more, no matter what you do, than 2 tons. This is 4,000 pounds. 3 liters for 4,000 pounds. And now if I go another 3,000 pounds, it's another 2 tons. I'm going to go 2 tons, it's easier. It's a 4 tons. And another one, it's a 6 tons. And another one, it's a 8 tons. That's 16,000 pounds. Now the other truck carry 80,000 pounds. Then you can suspect that it's my 3-liter engine in a perfect conditions with only this little weight, 4,000 pounds, would be working much easier and need less energy to carry this one and the other one combined with the 12 liters has to go and carry 80,000 pounds. Okay? And this is basically like more or less what I'm thinking for tonight. Okay, that's all for me tonight. That's kind of like I'm reading here and I'm getting inspired, and then I said, I'm going to say a couple of things, and I put this up, maybe just the gibberish. Never mind. But it's interesting. Maybe somebody will comment and say something, whatever is appreciated. Criticism, absolutely open up. I'm willing to take all the the negativity. But it's it's not on a point. It's just like it's a life. It's just a discussion. It's kind of like thinking your own way. I think so. Most likely, we all agree that basically, for sure they're pulling our nose very much. They're lying to us, and I think this like kind of like a hidden psych. How to say it's hide and seek. Okay, where they're hiding, and I'm interested. I'm trying to in. What can I do? Like I cannot go and change anything by myself uh, at the moment. But if it's people think, I think so that we need to think because otherwise we're going to become really stupid. Uh, and not to believe everything and try to reason. There is a logic, and the logic is a very nice, fine instrument that we possess. Like maybe somebody's using a little bit less, somebody a little bit more, but we have all ability, just like if we want it. And I think so. It's fun. It's actually good, and it's actually not only good for your personal, satisfaction if you get anything out of it, but it's good for our progress and for the humanity, period. If people would never fight for the more rights or more reasonable life, we would still be in the Middle Ages, and it's I think so. We all have the obligation, but for the fun of it, yeah, I like to hear some critique or some fun, whatever. Just hey, it's entertainment, and in between we can. Now, if we would be serious politicians, I would demand their full respect and listening to me, and then would be another story which would never happen. That's why, whatever. Good night to everybody, and whatever. Happy day tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and let's hope for the best. Um, but that's on my mind right now today. And I'm a little bit sick because somebody brought some disease to our house. I have a sore throat, runny nose, and headache. Don't feel right. Kind of like a flu, I would say. But anyway, see ya. Ubriu Sampa tomorrow.